Oh my goodness, the world's caving in on us and the housing market is falling apart. We are officially screwed, ladies and gentlemen. Hi everybody, my name is Jerome Maldonado, and I've been developing real estate, building homes, buying land, building apartment complexes, retail centers since 1999. And ladies and gentlemen, everybody around us, mainstream media, is going to town telling us that economically the world is in shambles and the U.S. economy is falling apart. And right behind me here, I have a new foundation going in, and people are saying, Jerome, are you absolutely insane? Are you still buying land and building houses? And the answer is, yes, I'm still buying land, I'm still building houses, and there's a mean to my madness and my business model. Look, ladies and gentlemen, you can weigh the man or woman by how many recessions they've made it through in business. And this is my third recession that we're going through right now. In 1999, when we came into the business world in the New Mexico market, and we opened up actually in 1998, and we were hitting the late part of the recession. And then in 2008, we hit the world's worst financial sector economic recession that we had ever seen in American history. And ladies and gentlemen, we lived through the pandemic, and here we sit in 2022 only to face another economic crisis and recession. But ladies and gentlemen, it's not the asset class that gets affected, it's how you deal and work within that asset class to get creative to continue moving forward. Now, I think we can all agree, ladies and gentlemen, that people are still building homes. The builders aren't all going out of business. D.R. Horton isn't closing up shop and shutting down sales sites all over the country, and either is LGI Homes, Toll Brothers, or all the big builders. They just change how they build what they're building. Do they slow down a little bit? Yes, and lots of times they do so. But because we're not competing with the big guys, we're not competing with all the mass production of builders out there. We have a specific business model that directly relates to what we do. So what is the ingredient here? Is the world going to fall apart? Are interest rates going to just rise to the top of the roof? Are we going to go to double-digit interest rates? Are we going to be seeing houses mortgaged with 10%, 11%, 12% interest rates like they were back in the 70s, 80s, and then start migrating even into maybe some lower rates in the 8, 9, 10% that we saw in the 90s? Ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to see rates like that. We are right now sitting at the high 5% on a 30-year fixed mortgage rate, just below 6%. We may see these rates go as high as 7%, but ladies and gentlemen, the sooner we get them there, the sooner they'll start crawling back down. Now, there's world order and world economies, and in order for the United States to stay as the leader in the world order of economic strength, we have to make some pivots and some changes. There's a lot of pivots and changes that need to be made, and what's happening right now is economic changes where people that are less affluent have an opportunity to go out there and create wealth. This is where wealthy people truly get wealthy, is in economic downturns. And so if you're sitting back on a couch wondering, how am I going to get through this? How am I going to afford a box of cereal? How am I going to afford a tank of gas? Inflation is through the roof. Interest rates are through the roof. You need to take a brief minute to unwind and stop watching mainstream media and pay attention to what's really happening worldwide with distribution. Now, the GDP, which the GDP is what we are doing as far as trade and export out of the United States, import that's coming into the United States, and what we're doing, what we're selling off as a country. Now, when GDP typically drops, meaning that what we export out typically goes down, if we can't get what we can't sell as the United States, revenue drops. And typically, when GDP goes down, so does labor, meaning that unemployment goes up, because when there's less amounts of transport going out and we're not exporting, then there's not as much need for production. When there's less need for production, there's less need for labor. When there's less need for labor, unemployment goes up. Ladies and gentlemen, we're seeing a really weird vertical right now where the unemployment rates are going down, people have more jobs, and there's more affluency for them right now than ever, and our GDP is lower than it's been in over a decade. So how does that happen? Well, ladies and gentlemen, there's a teeter-totter effect that has to happen here between GDP and labor. And so one of two things is going to happen over the next 12 months. Either we need to see the GDP start to go up and exports start to go out again, so it produces more economic growth, it stimulates more economic growth, more jobs, more need for products and services on the market here in the United States to be able to get transported out to China, to the Middle East, and all over the world. Or you're going to start seeing businesses retract. And when businesses retract, they sit back and go, holy cow, now expenses are going up and labor's going up and there's no economic growth, so now it's time to lay off, and that's where unemployment rates go up. That's when we'll really see an economic recession. Right now, we're not really living in an economic recession like the mainstream media is telling us. There's plenty of jobs. Household incomes are really well. We have a lot of affluent income on the books. So what's going to happen is that as interest rates rise, we're hoping to see that the stabilization of all of the inflationary market values start to stabilize. And if inflation starts to stabilize, and then we can get back to work with production, distribution, we can get all of the distribution chains open back up again, the tariffs in Canada open back up and all that lifted, then ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start seeing economic growth again. And so what we're trying to do is we're in a sprint right now with economic growth and GDP, and we're trying to sit back and say, look, before we start getting to an economic crisis, we have to start laying employees off. Let's get this under control. How do we do that? Let's increase interest rates. Let's stabilize inflation. If we can stabilize inflation, we can bring down the cost of production. We can start producing and exporting again. If fuel can go back down and we start seeing an increase in transport, then ladies and gentlemen, the job market still stays strong and secure. Hence, we don't go into an economic recession. Now, am I telling you guys that that's what's going to happen? No, I don't have a crystal ball. I can't rub and see that crystal ball. What I'm telling you guys is that's what we want to see happen, is we want to see economic growth and stability. So if interest rates have to go up slightly to even out inflation, then let it go up. Let's even out inflation. Let's bring costs back down. Let's start the production train again, and let's keep the job market as strong as it is right now, and stronger, because manufacturing, production, and distribution is continuing to migrate and grow. And that's what we need. So ladies and gentlemen, how do we sell these homes? Well, we take an inflated interest rate, and we're doing some really creative financing and buyer's options to continue selling homes in a specific market sector. We're not selling to everybody. We're not trying to hit trillions of people that are on this earth. We need one buyer for a handful of homes every single year to be able to make strong six-figure profits and returns. And how you acquire those customers and clients, and how we sell and market these homes, is a key component that I can go over with you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to learn how to work with me and my team, then click below. Let us DM us and let us know, and one of our staff will reach out to you so you can learn how to buy land, build houses, and undertake these unforeseen recessionary times. But before you do that, smash that like button, pound and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and ladies and gentlemen, for more content just like this, click and subscribe and watch how we're buying land, building houses, how we're going out and building an apartment complex in unforeseen recessionary times. I look forward to seeing you next time. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Click below and watch the next recommended and subscribed video up on my video chain right behind me. You guys go out and have a great day, compound your success, and God bless.